同學，今次我們將會學習 Reading Review on Literary Devices. Concept: Reading Review on Literary Devices. In Paper 1, you may meet questions on literary devices of a poem or article. 遇上一首詩或一篇文章的，就要答文學手法的問題。Some knowledge about poems may help you tackle those reading questions. 關於詩歌的一些知識可以幫助你解決這些問題閱讀。Poetic devices. Stanza. A unit of poetic lines, a paragraph within the poem. The stanzas within a poem are separated by blank lines. A. The sounds of words. Making good use of the following skills may make the poems sound better. This is a point of analyzing a poem. 這一點也可應用於分析詩歌的寫的作文題。In reading paper, you may have to identify examples in the text. Poetic device, meaning examples. Poetic device, alliteration, meaning examples. Repetition of the first consonant sounds. For example, terrible truths and lullaby lies. Poetic device, consonants, meaning examples. Repeated consonant sounds at the ending of words placed near each other. For example, both in the past, cool soul. Poetic device, onomatopoeia, meaning examples. A word that imitates the sound it represents. For example, boom, buzz, bang, hiss, pop. For example, the bees buzz angrily when their hive is disturbed. Poetic device, repetition, meaning examples. The purposeful reuse of words and phrases for an effect and emphasizing something. For example, half a lead, half a lead, half a lead onward. Poetic device, rhyme, meaning examples. A pattern of words that contain similar sound at the end of the line. For example, 9 for 1 is Y and 1. Poetic device, rhyme scheme, meaning examples. A repeated pattern of rhymed words at the end of the line. For example, lusty eyes A, passionate cries A, rich blood B, bitter sweat C, he or she laughs D, and dies A. B. The meanings of words. Poetic device, meaning example. Poetic device, imagery, meaning example. Language that evokes sensory images. For example, drip of ruby teardrops to wake up where the green grass grows. Lips like cool sweet tea streaming through a velvet sky. Poetic device, metaphor, meaning example. Comparison are like things, made without using like or as. For example, I am the lone star. Poetic device, personification, meaning example. Giving human qualities or characteristics to animals or objects. For example, the warmth of the sun is hugging me. Poetic device, simile, meaning example. A comparison using like or as. For example, he is as dumb as an ox. Poetic device, hyperbole, 誇張法, meaning example. Exaggerating, often in a humorous way to make a particular point. For example, my eyes widen at the sight of the mile-high ice cream cones you are having for dessert. Now, read the poem below and decide what kinds of skills are used. Give varying examples in the box. Put NA if you can't find such poetic device and varying examples. 現在就詳細閱讀以下一首詩 Look Outside by Josie Graveling. Look outside, see the trees. Watch the flowers in the breeze. Things won't be like this in a year or two if polluting's what we do. Seize the light, seize the day. Things won't always be this way. Thousands of people are dying. In the night you hear children crying. Let's stop the war. Our people are sore. The world can't help itself. Who cares about your wealth? Help me to help you. Show the world what you can do. 現在就一齊找答案。Poetic device, Do you find such poetic device? Example: poetic device. Alliteration. Do you find such poetic device? Yes. Example: well, what? Poetic device. Consonants. Do you find such poetic device? No. Poetic device. Onomatopoeia. Do you find such poetic device? No. Poetic device. Repetition. Do you find such poetic device? Yes. Example: seize the light, seize the day. Poetic device. Rhyme. Do you find such poetic device? Yes. Example: war, saw. Poetic device. Rhyme scheme. Do you find such poetic device? Yes. Example: trees, breeze, to, do, day, way, dying, crying, war, saw, itself, wealth, you, do. Poetic device. Imagery. Do you find such poetic device? Yes. Example: war, sight, crying, sound. Poetic device. Metaphor. Do you find such poetic device? Yes. Example: war, pollution. Let's stop the war. Poetic device. Personification. Do you find such poetic device? No. Poetic device. Simile. Do you find such poetic device? No. Now, do the exercise to test yourself by exercise. Complete the following questions by reading the poem. Look closely for clues in the language. A little fellow in the grass. Comprehension questions. A. Choose the most suitable answer. Check the right box. B. Give short answers to the following questions. Let's see the answer key now.